Last month, the government of India decided to deploy 4th Regiment of BrahMos missile in our northeastern state, Arunachal Pradesh. CCS Cabinet Committee on Security approved the request of raising a new regiment of an advanced version of BrahMos missiles to be deployed in Arunachal Pradesh at a cost of Rs. 4,300 crore. The regiment will be equipped with 5 autonomous missile launchers with command post. It would include 100 BrahMos missiles. But this deployment has caused a lot of anxiety and nervousness in our northern neighboring country. Few days after the news of BrahMos deployment in Arunachal Pradesh came out, China's People's Liberation Army (PLA) declared it a threat to China and the boundary dispute. They went on to say that missile with updated capabilities for stealth and mountain warfare could threaten Yunnan and Tibet Autonomous Region (TAR) provinces, located across the border from Arunachal Pradesh. In an article in the mouthpiece of China's armed forces, military naval engineer Shang Yuyi declared India's move as beyond India's normal need for self-defense. Playing tricks, they are bound to suffer the consequences. Quote, he, however, acknowledged in the article that the deployment can't pose a great threat as it has a limited range of 290 km and cannot hit any target in mainland China. But then why China is making so much of fuss over this small step? After all, the range of the missile is just 290 km and it can carry a warhead of just 200 and 300 kg. Looks like the Dragon is nervous. A brief introduction of the missile will help us understand why. BrahMos is a state-of-the-art, highly advanced, supersonic one-of-its-kind missile in the world. This short-range ramjet supersonic cruise missile was developed under a joint project of India and Russia that started in the late 1990s. During the Cold War, instead of a conventional subsonic cruise missile, USSR developed an unconventional supersonic cruise missile that can evade American aircraft carriers' defensive setup and destroy it. It is important to note here that USSR never undertook the development of aircraft carriers seriously. Towards the end of Cold War, 4 Kiev-class carriers were built, one of which was Admiral Gorshkov, which is now in service with Indian Navy. To tackle American threat from aircraft carriers, USSR successfully developed supersonic anti-ship cruise missiles that could evade American carriers' missile defense systems and destroy it. The aim of BrahMos project was to develop an Indian version of P-800 Onyx anti-ship missile. Initially BrahMos was developed as anti-ship missile for Navy, but later its success and abilities moved Indian armed forces to push BrahMos Aerospace to develop a land-based and air-launched version of the missile. Closing parenthesis. In a theoretical study, 16 ripple-fired BrahMos missiles can take out U.S. Navy's most advanced Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. Unlike other cruise missiles like Tomahawk of the USA and Babar of Pakistan that fly at a subsonic speed of 500-600 kmph, BrahMos can touch an astonishing maximum speed of Mach 2.8, roughly 3,400 kmph. Though its range is limited to just 290 km and it can carry a light warhead of just 200 to 300 kg. Its ability to maintain supersonic speeds while skimming at low altitude makes it very difficult to detect and intercept. During the last leg of its flight, just before hitting its target, BrahMos performs S maneuver to evade any anti-missile defense system. BrahMos kinetic energy gives it an edge in terms of stealth, hit probability and better target penetration characteristics, making it a deadly weapon. One can only imagine the impact a target would have when a 3-ton 28-feet-long missile carrying a 300 kg semi-armor-piercing warhead flying at speed of 3,000 kmph hit it with pinpoint accuracy (SEP) of 5 meters. Missile will tear the ship apart. BrahMos was first tested in June 2001 and later was deployed successfully on Rajput-class destroyers. In 2004, land attack version from mobile launchers was tested for Army and it completed the testing in 2009 to completed satisfaction of the end user. Since then, 3 regiments have been commissioned and deployed. The 4th Regiment will have the test version of a missile that was specially designed for mountain warfare. It was first tested in April 2014 in a steep dive target discrimination mode that enables the missile to take out selected targets hidden behind a mountain range accurately. This is what is bothering the Dragon. China knows that India has no territorial designs. India is ensuring that its armed forces have the necessary equipment and infrastructure available to thwart any Chinese aggression. In any short, swift war, such deadly, accurate and stealth weapons will be of immense value to destroy Chinese command and control centers, firepower centers, radar and air defense sites, etc. This would change the course of the conflict. Though China is acquiring one of the best missile defense systems, S-400, from Russia, but BrahMos' very small RCS radar cross-section, supersonic speed coupled with S-maneuver and low flying altitude makes it extremely difficult to track and intercept. The only possible anti-missile system that can possibly stop BrahMos' single or ripple-fired effectively is Barak 8. An air-launched version of the BrahMos named BrahMos A is also being developed. BrahMos A will be 500 kg lighter than its Army and Naval versions. It will weigh 2.5 tons and will carry a warhead of 300 kg. First demonstration flight of Su-30 MKI carrying BrahMos A was conducted on the 25th of June 2016. Su-30 MKI had to undergo structural modification and its undercarriage had to be strengthened. IAF will equip 40 Su-30 MKIs with BrahMos and has already deployed Su-30 MKI squadrons near China border in northeastern part of India. Equipping Su-30 MKI with BrahMos A will allow IAF to deliver the deadliest punch with a SEP of 5 meters deep inside Tibetan Chinese province Yunnan. All frontline warships of Indian Navy have already equipped with 1 or 2 8-cell UVL-M4 BrahMos Block Iron 2 missiles. Navy has already been doing long patrols, and with the signing of Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement (LEOMA) with the USA, it will give access to both IAF and Navy to U.S. overseas naval bases. Though the LEOMA is for few specific reasons like joint military exercises, training, port calls, humanitarian missions and other military activities that both sides mutually agree to undertake. And every access request made by one country will be accessed and approved, rejected by other country beforehand. This agreement does not facilitate easy and unlimited access to each other's bases. But the Dragon will not rule out the possibility where these bases could give necessary logistic support to Indian vessels or fighters to carry out an operation against Chinese mainland. After all, desperate times call for desperate measures. The present Indian government has demonstrated clarity about India's objectives in every field, and is bold enough to call a spade spade. Since 2006, half-hearted decisions were taken to equip armed forces to counter Chinese threat, but now this process is on the fast track. Earlier we were just looking at the Chinese string of pearls encircling us, but now India is turning the table on Chinese. For the last 50 years, China has been supporting and equipping Pakistani armed forces with various weapon platforms. China also helped Pakistan with strategic weapons and missile development. It provided nuclear weapon designs to Dr. A.Q. Khan and facilitated missile designs from North Korea in lieu of nuclear technology. CIA provided photos showing PAF-C-130 delivering the hardware at a North Korean airbase, thus helped Pakistan getting both the weapon and the delivery system. China has been closely working with other countries like Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Maldives, etc. to gain port access there. That is how the term string of pearls came into existence. Now this string is getting reversed, with India ready to sell BrahMos missile to Vietnam and Philippines, with whom China has a dispute over the South China Sea. The possible sale of BrahMos to these countries has already created ripples in China. As per China Topics 1, the People's Liberation Army Navy plan has no defense against India's BrahMos supersonic cruise missile, the fastest anti-ship missile in the world, and India is intent on selling these world-beating missiles to both Vietnam and the Philippines. The surface-to-air missiles on planned warships such as the FL-3000N will be almost useless against a volley of supersonic BrahMos hurtling towards a Chinese warship at Mach 3. The current generation of planned ship-borne SAMs can only effectively engage anti-ship missiles, traveling at half the speed of BrahMos. A future customer of both naval and air force version of the missile would be Japan and Taiwan. A hypersonic version of BrahMos flying at 600 kmph is already being developed and should be ready in 5 to 7 years. Keeping BrahMos Aerospace's track record, the deadline of 5 to 7 years looks realistic. They have always delivered on time.